Today I will be taking some useless uninhabited islands off the coast of Africa and turning them into the most advanced region in the world. A few days ago, my good friend Ottawa Welshman uploaded a video where he took some backwater tribal taiga counties in the middle of Siberia and brought them all the way to 100 development. I thought that sounds like a great idea, but I need to think of the perfect starting location for this challenge. Well, luckily for me, my amazing subscribers informed me. Oops, wrong comments. They informed me of the Canary Islands, which had gotten a major update with the latest DLC. So let's hop into the game and start our very own 100 development challenge. So here we are right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean because we are playing as the northernmost island, which is part of the Canary Islands. First of all, if we take a look at the religion map, you can see this area is rocking its own religion, which is only available on these 3 islands. Not only that, but 2 of the holy sites of the religion are also on these 3 islands. If we look at the culture, you can see we have our own culture for these islands, and it's an interesting one which has both the stalwart defenders and isolationist traditions, which make it very similar to another culture in the game. And that other culture is the Sardinian culture, which also has these 2 and is also on an island. The combination of those 2 traditions make it really make any character with this culture really good on the defense, as well as the isolationist perk actually gives you a pretty healthy amount of control per month in all of the counties with it. Another thing to note is as this character, we are currently a tribal region, which is definitely not the best for playing tall. To play tall, you really need to be advancing through the tech tree as fast as possible in order to unlock things like battlements, which let you upgrade your castles, and then manorialism, which let you upgrade your economic buildings, which will in turn help you stack more development and then grow your land to higher and higher development as you play. However, with the updates to these regions, including the Faith, there are some very interesting buildings that we can build. However, to get them, we will first need to get out of the tribal era as well as reform our faith, because although we have our unique faith over here, it is unreformed. But that's kind of our goal for the medium term. In the early term, you can see we are currently the owner of this northern island, which just has room for 1 county and it has nothing in it. We have neighbors to our south. If we take a look at their military strengths, you can see this guy has 700 men, this guy has 400 men, and we have 650. However, to be able to attack any of these guys, we will need to sail over there on our boat, meaning when we attack, we'll get a huge penalty for disembarking. So because of that reason, I'm actually going to go into our military and spend all of our prestige right now on some new men-at-arms units. The reason we can buy men-at-arms units with prestige is because we're a tribal region, so pretty much everything we do, including building buildings and getting men-at-arms, are going to come at the cost of prestige instead of gold. As for our lifestyle this game, I'm going to be going down a learning lifestyle with a theology focus because I want to pick up profit here because it will make it cheaper to reform our faith. And again, since we are unreformed, we will have to reform our faith before we can switch out of tribal into feudal. Another thing I'm going to do is just right away go ahead and divorce our wife here.
Get back, children!
She gave us 2 beautiful daughters, and our religion, I'm pretty sure, has equal rights, so it's not going to matter if our kid is a son or daughter. Whoever our firstborn person is, they're going to be our direct heir. And actually, as these characters, you can see we cannot disinherit because our culture has this tradition right here, which makes it so that we just simply aren't able to disinherit our kids this game. So we're going to have to be finding other ways of sorting out our succession. And then for our new wife, I'm going to sort right away by martial ability, and I'll just marry this lady with the Hail trait. So again, the reason I went for a wife with the martial ability is because if I go over to her and put her on a chivalry focus, you can see that bumps our military ability up to 20. So we'll actually be a pretty good commander on our own. And you can see we do have a full army of knights right now. We could actually recruit this guy who has 7 prowess, which is a lot better than this guy with 2. We actually rolled a character which had honest and brave as their starting traits, and that's going to be really important to get us a lot of piety. You can already see we're making 5.1 piety per month right now, and that will just help to reform our faith, because if we go look at this reform faith screen here, you can see it will cost us currently, oh wow, it's actually really cheap right now. So this will probably go away by the time we can actually do this. So it probably will cost around 5,000 gold for us to reform our faith here. Another thing we need to reform our faith is we actually have to hold 3 holy sites. So right now we have 1, which is good. This one over here shouldn't be too hard to get either. And then the other 2, as you can see, 1 is in southern Spain and 1 is actually right in Tunisia here. As for right now, I think we have enough military strength to declare war on our southern neighbor. You can see he only has 500 troops. I'm going to first sail over to this this smaller island and wait for the recently disembarked penalty to go away. And then if we attack him right here, you can see we'll still get a lot of penalties because he's defending in hills, he has defensive buildings, and he's defending across this strait. Even at that, you can see we have 25 commander ability, so we shouldn't have any problem in smacking him down.
That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good. Okay. All right, okay, all right. It's enough!
And eventually taking the island after he throws his troops into me for like 10 times. And just like that, we have already received another beautiful county here, which will help pretty much double our military strength and gold income. Oh my goodness, so I was distracted, and look at this. These guys to our south actually got our raid off on our capital, which is brutal because it's going to affect the gold income in our capital by 50%. Okay, I think we're strong enough to declare war on our other neighbor here. You see, he again will get a lot of defensive bonuses from defending the strait, but we should still win even with this pretty heavy negative here, mainly because our commander ability is just so high. Okay, so you can see they're doing the same thing here, trying to stop us from invading, but we should hit 100% soon. We can just go ahead right away, enforce our demands, disband our armies again, and now if you look at that, we have all 3 of the beautiful Canary Islands shortly after starting the game. The next thing we have to do is declare war on this tiny little county right in the middle of Spain. And you can see they don't have any allies, they only have 400 men, so they're not very strong. So I'm not sure how they just gained all those men. Oh yeah, so they hired some dirty mercenaries, of course. So now that we have taken this tiny county, what we can do is go over here to this king and actually swear fealty to them.
I'm in danger!
So the only reason we had to take this land was to be able to do that. To swear fealty to somebody, you have to be on their border. And the only reason that we actually want to swear fealty to him is because now if we go to our decisions, you can see we can adopt feudal ways through our liege. And this is so much easier than adopting it through normal means. Normally you would need to research 70% of the text in the tribal tech tree before going to feudal. And you can see that would take quite a long time. Right now we only have 8 of 24. And even to research one tech from the beginning, you can see would take us 58 years. So it's much faster going through a liege to switch out of tribal than it is to do it on your own. Through our liege, the only thing we have to do is get to tier 2 for our tribal authority, which we can do right away. And the other thing that we need to do is have a organized faith, which we are doing, which we have talked about since the beginning of the game. And then phase 3 can now commence, which is taking away the holy site of Carthage from Tunisia here. You can see, I was just having a look at this area and they just got war declared on them, or they just lost the war with the Byzantines, which lowered their army, and now they're getting attacked by a peasant uprising, and they're left with only 24 troops. So I really don't think we'll find a better time in the game to declare war on them. Oh crap, we need more prestige first. Well, first, I guess I can go on hunts. This is going to be a great way for us to lose stress, but also to gain prestige. You can see it only costs 17 gold, so... Oh my god, what a risk. It only costs 17 gold, and it's going to be a great way to get our prestige up. So now if we right-click on them, we can declare war on them for Tunis. I've decided just to charge right away for their capital to try to get that cap off. We do have a lot stronger military than them right now, but they're gaining strength very fast, which is kind of scaring me. Oh, this is big. So the king of the Spanish kingdom we're part of wants us to be his steward, which is huge because you're going to see that's going to raise our the amount of taxes we get by 2 per month, as well as reducing our building construction time and cost by a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like the land that we were declared war on had split, which actually might help us because look, his army, the guy that we're fighting now, his army is a lot smaller, so we can actually get a win off him here. and it bumps our war score all the way up to 75, and we also control the war target. So we could just sit on the war target now and let this tick up to 100%. Okay, so we hit 100% in this war. I'm gonna enforce our demands, disband our army, and you can now see we are holding the third holy site for our religion, which means if we go to reform our faith, you can see the only thing we don't have is one, we're not holding a duchy or higher, but we can remedy that right now because I do have enough money to create this duchy. And now we're just missing a little bit of faith. However, we are one perk away from picking up profit, which will reduce that cost by 50%. And the final thing I'm going to do is start increasing our development in our capital. I probably should have had that been going on since the beginning of the game. We kind of missed 10 years without doing that, but you can already see we're going to be making 3.7 development per month in our capital because right now the development is so very low. Okay, so we just got enough perk points to get the next learning perk, and we picked up profit. So now if we go to reform our faith, you can see it only costs 2,300. One thing we will be doing, we're going to keep all the same tenets and everything because we want to go with like the same feel of this special religion for this land, but I will be changing the tradition, the clerical tradition, from theocratic to lay clergy. It will raise the price a bit, but it's going to be so worth it because then we can just hold the extra temples that get created here when we switch off from feudal. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. You can see right now our daughter and heir accidentally shot a commoner with an arrow, and so you have a bunch of options here. You can try to cover it up, or we can expose her and she'll get the murderer trait, which is like brutal. I don't really want that on her. You can see I forgot to switch her off her education in the beginning of the game, so she is on a diplomacy education, which like sucks. And then the next person it would go to would be this daughter here, who I had shipped away to our king's court, and she did convert to Catholicism, but as you can see, we can just demand her conversion and she would accept anyway. And she has a little bit better traits, and I did put her on an education focus, which is going to be really important for going down the learning tree and helping with a bunch of development things. So I think honestly, I'm just going to kill my daughter. We return home in disappointment. You can say that again. Okay, so she actually just hit 16. You can see she went to tier 2. She actually got tier 2, which is good because I only switched her education on like when she was 14. So normally that's not a good sign, but at least now she has 14 learning, which is pretty decent. I'm also going to start going on pilgrimages just to get our faith up a little bit higher. I'm not worried that we're not going to be able to. I'm not worried that we won't be able to.
Gold, please.
Oh my God, what's happening? I'm losing so much money. I'm not worried that we won't be able to do it before he dies, but just the faster we're able to reform, the faster we'll be able to switch to feudal, the faster we'll be able to start getting our development up really, really quickly. I'm not liking this. He wants us to convert to Catholicism. On decline, he'll get a reason to imprison us, which hopefully he won't use. We literally just need like 200 more piety. Man, that is annoying. I really hope he doesn't try to put us in jail. Oh my God. So look at this. If we decline, it's going to start a war with him, which, you know, he's not that strong, really. I think, honestly, I'll just accept this. Oops, not accept it. I wanted to fucking decline.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about?
Sometimes this game makes me wonder what just happened. I accidentally clicked accept instead of decline because I wouldn't have minded having a war with him. Because look, he's not that strong, really. Look, he only has like 300 more men than us, and we do have all those beautiful defensive bonuses from being on these islands. So I think we could have taken him. But we just ransomed. He just imprisoned us. We ransomed ourselves for a favor. Is he going to ask us to convert now? Doesn't he have a cooldown because he just asked us before? I am so confused right now. Let's go ahead, reform our faith. What we can now do, because we have a reformed faith, is go up one tier to tier 2 tribal authority. And now if we go over here, unfortunately, we'll have to wait just until we get enough prestige to do this. There we go. So you can now see we can adopt feudal ways through our liege. Only 19 years since the beginning of the game. So that is pretty quick. If we wanted to do that the normal way, it would have taken a lot longer, at least 50 years, I would say, to get the research text we required. Okay, so now that we are finally a feudal realm, I can talk about some of the really cool things concerning how to play tall as the Canary Islands, the whole reason we decided to play this game. If we click on our little temple over here, you can see we can construct a very cool building, and that is the megalith. This is a temple building, which is only possible because of our religious tenet that we have. And you can see right here, if we preview it, we would get 2% development growth from tier 1 and a little bit of piety as well as some popular opinion. And this development growth goes up just like a trade ports or a guild's building. The other thing we can build is if we click over here on this one, you can see we can construct our grand temple. So we'll be able to do this in this county and in our capital. And this is an amazing building because it gives you more tax, more levies, but we will have to research crop rotation, which is probably something I should have been researching. Oh, which is nice because it's actually something we're getting progress from exposure right now with the Basque culture. We'll be finished this in 37 years, and then we'll also finish this research right here in 31 years. So looking at the Reformed faith, you can see this tenet, megalith construction, and this is the tenet that gives us access to those really cool megalith buildings. And you can see, so it lets us build them in temple holdings, but it also lets us build the great megalith in duchy capitals, as well as giving us a pretty decent bonus to our development growth in hills, as you can see, as well as holding tax in hills and levy size in hills. And if we take a look at the terrain, you can see of the 5 pieces of terrain, 4 of them are hills. So we're going to get a lot of value from hills this game. Taking a look at our duchy buildings, if we scroll all the way down here, you can see the Great Megalith, which is a really cool building, giving us plus 15%, a further 15% development growth, as well as learning lifestyle experience, naval speed, and some other cool things, including 1.1 tax. So this is a really cool, building in general. Okay, so our king just raised his taxes on us. Can you believe that? Our feudal taxes. I pretty much had enough of him. I'm gonna go ahead and create a independence faction here. We are the only member of it. However, you can see his military really isn't that strong. So I could press this right now, honestly, but I think what I'm actually gonna do is just create some more men-at-arms. Like maybe if I increase our pikeman size and maybe get some more bowmen. Oh, okay, so it looks like our old king has died. Our new king has just made us his marshal, which is interesting. His military strength is still not that low, which makes me a little bit scared of declaring our independence from him. He is losing a war though, and a child. So you know, what am I thinking? Of course I'm going to press my demands here. He does not accept. So now we are in a independence war. But at least we still hold this piece of land here where you can raise all our men and start invading their land. Okay, so we beat them trying to attack our own land. Oof, we caught them again trying to take our land. And you can see, even though we get a 30 penalty for disembarking while they don't, because they got there a little bit before us, you can see we still are making a very nice plus 20 in our favor right now. Mainly because we get the defending in hills, we have a faith hostility advantage, controlled defender, since we control this territory we get plus 5, so that all adds up to make us like really destroy this guy here. And honestly, with this percentage now, I think if I just run into their capital and take it, we should be pretty good to go. We might even win before. Oh yeah, so there you go. So we win the war, and now if we look at our realm, we are now the beautiful independent region. What I'm going to do with these 2 counties that I'm holding that aren't the Canary Islands, I'm just going to make them independent. I don't need them, honestly. And this one here, at least, it is my son who owns it. So that will actually bump up our renown quite a little bit by having another count. You can see it's going to give us 0.25. Okay, so our character just died. We're going to be playing as our daughter, our 34-year-old daughter now. We were able to get her some court physician traits, which is nice. And what happened here? So you can see our land didn't necessarily split, but it looks like we have some brothers here who took this land away from us. And that's the whole reason I was researching what happened here. How come we're not part of our nice culture anymore? Also, I didn't realize, but I guess this character, had got converted. I thought they just had converted their faith, not also their culture. Not really a problem for us because I can always convert to local culture if I just get a little bit more prestige, which should happen here. Oh man, we have this Stewart who's at 27 ability. That's crazy at this stage in the game. Wow, she's gonna be getting us 4.9 development per month in our capital. Oh, it looks like my half brothers are declaring war against each other. Don't think that's gonna end very well considering he would have to get the disembark penalty to attack him. Ah, okay, perfect. So we hit 500 prestige, which means we can now convert to our local culture. And that is very good because I do not want to be, the whole point of playing as this region is to play as this fun culture and religion. And what I was saying before is the whole reason we wanted to go down plenary assemblies is because this will let us raise our crown authority to tier 2, and we need tier 2 to be able to take land away from our brothers who are going to pretty much inherit every time because we can't disinherit our kids this game. Okay, so we just hit plenary assemblies. Oh, we don't have enough prestige again, classic. Now we do. So we'll pass the law to go up to tier 2, and then we can go over here, revoke the title from our half brother. He'll obviously declare war on us, which is fine because we have a much bigger army. I don't even think we need to raise our whole military. So we hit 100% here. We get our half brother in jail, so we can now revoke his title.
Yoink.
And then revoke the other title. Boom. So now finally we have all 3 of our counties, yes, yet again. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is instead of a temple, we actually got a city holding. It's like a random chance when you go from tribal to feudal, what type of barony your other baronies will be filled as. But I guess honestly, a city will be interesting too, because a city you can make the trade ports and the guild. So we'll kind of get to compare if it's better to have a temple or a city playing as this culture and religion. So next on the docket is, you can see we have this special major decision as playing as the Canaries where you can create a kingdom from your lands. And I think I'm going to do this first before building our special duchy. So to be able to do this, it costs 300 gold and you have to have at least 10 development in all 3 of these counties. We have 14 in our capital already, which is quite good. 5 in this secondary county, which is actually increasing by 1.3 per month just from neighbors. You can see we're getting a huge boost from that. And then finally, I am increasing the control in this northern one because this one doesn't get from neighbors because it's not technically touching any other counties. So I will have to bring this one up to 10 on my own. One thing that's nice is playing as a culture that has isolations is it's so quick to increase the control. My control was like at 30 in both these counties when I revoked them, and already you can see we're almost at 100. Oop, okay, so it looks like we died. It's a little bit depressing. Same, I guess. So now we're gonna be playing as our son, and he's decent. I'm not too happy with his stewardship, honestly, and I forgot to marry him to somebody. That's kind of silly of me. Oh man, and so annoying that our land split yet again. This time to, I think, our brother and sister. The only good thing is we do have crown authority, so I can right away just go and revoke these titles from them, raise a local army, and it should be pretty easy to kill both these guys and just get those counties back for myself. There you go, so we won both those wars. And the control is low again, but like I said before, at least with the isolationist perk, it is going to be very easy to increase the control in these areas. The good thing about having a religion with equal rights is that we can marry off our male courters who don't have wives as well, and then we can use them as our court members. So you can see I just picked up a 20 skill steward and a 21 intrigue spy master right there, which is very nice. Okay, I finally hit enough gold to build our duchy building here, so I'm going to go ahead and build the Great Megalith. It's going to get us 1.1 tax per month, which is the most tax of any duchy building we could build. Even though we couldn't build any of the duchy buildings because we would need to have burrs or manorialism. So this is a pretty sick building. You can pick it up really early. So it's going to take 4 years to build, but hopefully we can get that down. Okay, we finished our Great Megalith, and look at that. It brought our tax up to 3.2 from our capital. I just reworked my my perks here, and I swapped them around in order to pick up these 3 here, which help with my development growth and learning ability. And then these 3 I kept, but I switched to get golden obligations because what I'm going to do is switch out my spy master from disrupt schemes to find secrets. And I'm going to look in one of the bigger courts nearby. And then hopefully we'll get some characters who have some money. And then we can blackmail them and get free gold from all of that. Oh, here you go. So we found this character who has 156 gold. So we can blackmail her. And now if we go over here, you can see we can demand payments from them. And they'll give us 50 gold for that. Here we have another character we can blackmail. 80% chance. It goes through. And now we can get 50 gold from her as well. We actually have above 300, so we can take the decision to consolidate the Canary Islands, and we will now get the Kingdom of the Canary Islands. We now have access to our royal court, which is very nice as well. We can hang our cute banner here. One important part about getting a kingdom is we can now employ a royal architect like this lady, who you can see will improve our construction time by 15% across our territories. I'm wondering if I'll be able to hit 2,000 prestige as this character. If we're able to do that, it would be very helpful because I could then pick up a new tradition for our culture. Okay, so we just hit enough gold finally to build the last building in our capital here, the Grand Temple. And this is going to be very nice because it's going to get us that guaranteed 0.1 development per month. There we go, we finished the temple and it is in the middle of the ocean. How do you like that? That is a great job, whoever coded that. Perfect. I can only imagine where the Grand Temple is going to be when we build it over here. But at least getting that Grand Temple brings our monthly income up to 8.2 gold per month. And you can see we're currently getting almost 2 development per month, and we just hit 20 over here in our capital. No, our character just died and we're so close to getting 2,000 prestige. At least we're playing as our 35-year-old son now, and he should be able to get the prestige we need. And his daughter looks pretty decent. We put her on a learning education focus. She has pensive and pretty. Again, you can see we have a brother here and another brother who got our titles on succession, so we can revoke them. Shouldn't be too hard. You can see they're not very strong. And once we attack them both over here, boom, we actually win the war. We should get both of them in jail, I think, from that. Oh, no way did one get out. No way did he get out. What? How did they both escape that fast? Is this a joke? And there we go. So we hit 100% there as well. And pretty soon we'll have the control back up in these areas. Our gold income will back up and we'll be sitting pretty. Here I'm going to pick up golden obligations again because I have been finding a lot of hooks. So if all those people accept, you can see we have 8 people to demand payments from. That is very good. There you go. So it puts us all the way up to 470 gold. What I'm going to be working on now is just stacking as much prestige as possible in order to reform our culture. Okay, so we just hit 950 gold, and that is important because that's exactly how much we need to build a second Grand Temple in our northern county. Because like I talked about, we want to be gaining a lot of prestige as our characters. I'm actually going to switch my Chancellor out to be my player heir. If we click on her now, you can actually see she'll be gaining 2.9 prestige per month as our Chancellor. So that's going to be very helpful. Hopefully we can get her to a pretty good value so we won't have to increase it as much when we're playing as her. One thing I'm going to do with our character is go on a hunt right now, which will net us some more prestige. And now you can see we're just 500 away to getting to 2,000, which will let us reform our culture and pick up a new cultural tradition. Okay guys, I just got the pop-up where we have finished the second Grand Temple, and at least this one they put it on the land of the island and not in the ocean, like in our capital. I have just picked up enough gold to make our first castle upgrade here, so we can upgrade our motte to a keep here, and it's going to gain us quite a little bit more tax. But the real reason you would spend like over 500 gold to do this is because it'll let us further upgrade all these buildings in here to tier 3 and 4 once we finish researching memorialism, which should be done in 9 years. Okay, I finally hit 2,000 prestige. So right now if we go to reform, you can see we can click to add a new tradition, and the first one I'm going to pick up, which will be the cheapest one, is Hill Dwellers. You can see this is going to give us a further 20% bonus in our development in hill terrains, as well as a reduction in cost of buildings and holding construction in hills. And then another one I want to pick up next life is going to be the Golden Architect's cultural tradition, which has an amazing core position which helps you increase your development even further. But for now, I'm going to go and establish hill dwellers, which will take 5 years, and then we'll have to wait 50 years before... Oh, wow, that was actually perfect timing. But we'll have to wait 50 years before reforming again with this character, our daughter here. But again, like always when our character dies, I will have to go through the process of revoking these titles away from our brothers, our siblings who get them. Honestly, not the end of the world, because you can see we have 2,600 troops with all these beautiful men-at-arms, while they will always have like 600, 400. So there's another core position which actually can be useful. It's just important to know when to use them. It's this person right here, which you can see actually gives you a bonus of control per month based on their aptitude. So this person here is going to give us plus 0.3 control per month if I hire them. So I'm going to do that. And the reason is because what we just revoked these 2 counties away from our siblings. So they come to us at low control. Now that I hired that person, you can see we are going to be gaining 1.8 in the northern one because I have my marshal on increased control here, but you can see right here the position is taking effect. And then down here where I don't have anything, I'm still going to be gaining almost 1 per month. But the only thing that's important is once we hit 100 control, we have to remember to fire this person because they are costing us 0.62 gold per month. Ooh, so I just hired this lady to make a book for us and she made a beauty. It's going to get us plus 30% to our monthly learning lifestyle experience. And yeah, so now we're going to have a combined 40% boost to our monthly learning lifestyle experience. I am going down stewardship right now because our character already had a bunch of nice traits from scholar. So I'm going to go down stewardship just to get centralization and maybe golden obligations. And then I'll switch back over to learning to pick up the rest of these. Okay, so we just embraced hill traditions. So now if we hover over our development growth, you can see we're getting a lot of bonuses, but you can see this one right here is giving us plus 20%. So that counters the minus 10 that comes in hills normally. We're doubling our development right now in our capital, which is all the way up to 25. The other thing that this does is reduce our cost of making buildings and stuff. So right here, you can see we have cutting concerns reducing by 5, but now we're gonna have hill dwellers reducing by 15. So we're getting a 20% gold discount on all our buildings in hills right now. Okay, so we just hit manorialism, which is gonna be helpful because that will let us upgrade both our temples once we have enough gold to do so, and it will also let us go further past tier 2. So now we would be able to upgrade to tier 4 trade ports, which each would get us a plus 20% in terms of development. Okay, I just hit enough renown to pick up another dynastic legacy, and we're going to pick up treasured knowledge here, which gives us a further 20% bonus to our development growth and 10% on our monthly learning lifestyle experience. This is going to be super good, but if I look at our capital now, you can see we have a difference of 0.9 right now, a positive 0.9, but we're turning that 0.9 all the way into 2.4 with all of these crazy bonuses. So my character is 71 now. We have all these bonuses helping their health, but it still says poor, so that means they could pretty much die at any time. We were able to get 5,000 prestige, so not exactly 7,000. I was having a look at some of these other traditions, because remember, we wanted to go for guardian architects, but we won't be able to get enough, I don't think. Oh no, look, I still have to wait 18 more years to establish a new tradition, because I think it's 50 years, like I said, 50 years after establishing our last one. So our character probably wouldn't have survived that much anyway. I kind of wasted a bunch of money trying to get more prestige this life. I mean, maybe if we pick up healthy and whole of body here, we might have a chance of surviving another 14 years in order to reform our culture, but that would bring us to 89 years old. So I'm not sure if it's going to be doable. It's definitely going to be tough, but just maybe with whole of body, we might be able to do it. Okay, so we didn't do it. We died. Very unfortunately, we pretty much wasted all that prestige. I don't think he'll be able to pick up 5,000 prestige by the time he dies, so he's kind of useless. It might be up to our 29-year-old daughter to reform our culture. He does have whole of body, so that would help, but he is also like obese and stuff. I didn't realize this, but the megalith building, you can actually upgrade all the way to tier 8 without having any technology. So I'm not sure if it's really good value to do this. It would go from right now where we have plus 15 all the way to plus 35. So honestly, it probably would help. I might just start pumping a bunch of money into here. and it would really help the development in our capital. You can see we're getting a shit ton of bonuses now. We're turning 0.7 into 1.8 right now, and we're about to pick up centralization, which gives us another 0.3. Okay, we're officially caught up to the tech tree. We have researched enough techs to go to High Medieval. However, you do have to wait till 1050. There's a hard cap on going to the High Medieval era. I just finished upgrading our megalith here, so now you can see we have a tier 8 megalith building, which is getting us 35 development per month. Okay, I just hit 5,000 prestige. As you can see, our character is 77. They probably won't live much longer. So I'm going to use this to reform our culture like we wanted to do before, but we couldn't. And this time I'm going to pick up Industrious for the 25 development when a building is finished. So that's going to take 5 years to do. But once it's done, we will be able to pretty much double the amount of development we're getting right now, because you can see we're gaining 3.2 per month, which is just over 25 a year. So just being able to upgrade one building a year, which should be very easy with these two buildings here, we shouldn't have any problem bringing that up. And then once we hit the next era and we can upgrade our temple, we'll be able to do 50 a year by also upgrading these two buildings. Okay, so we did die. We're playing as our daughter, who is pretty old. Let's show you. Yeah, so she's 54 right now. We won't be able to reform as her, so the prestige doesn't really matter. The real thing that's going to matter is this daughter here, who we have as our current player, who's intelligent actually. We want her to have as much prestige as possible for that reason. That's why she is currently our chancellor, to be able to gain more prestige on her. And then I'll have to again revoke some land from our brothers and sisters here. There you go, 100% is hit. Oh, it also looks like we unlocked High Medieval, so I'm not sure what I want to do first here. I guess what I'm going to do is go for hoardings first to be able to upgrade our castles. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to go for windmills first, because I think windmills is what we need to upgrade the temple to tier 3. Yeah, so we'll do windmills, which will let us upgrade the temple to tier 3, and then we can start upgrading the buildings in here. And then I'll go for hoardings after that to upgrade our castle, so then we can upgrade all these buildings. Okay, we just got Industrious, as you can see. So now I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this pastoral lands. It'll be done in 3 months, which is super quick. And boom, right when it finished, you saw our development just took a huge jump there. So that was 1057. So we have to remember next year to upgrade another one of these buildings to get another nice jump. And it should help just keep our development ticking. I'm going to also be upgrading all the buildings in my secondary counties, as you can see, just to get them also ticking up in terms of development, which will help our research speed. Let's just take a look. We have 44 development right now. Cordoba has 37, the Pope has 34, and look at that, Constantinople has 43. So we have officially passed everybody in terms of development. We are now the most developed land in the game. Oh no! It looked like the daughter we were training to be our next in line just died. Oh, that's odd. That's not good. Because she was intelligent and everything. At least we have, I think our next heir will be her 7-year-old son, who also is intelligent. And we have him on an education focus, and we'll be able to choose his trade. So that actually might help us, because we might be able to play as this character from a younger age. So I have more time to build up prestige and maybe finally hit the 7,000 prestige we need in order to pick up the gardens tradition that we want. So here I just set my half-brother up with this beautiful character here who actually has 25 stewardship. And since we have an equal religion where women and men have equal rights, we can actually employ her as our steward, and she is going to be an amazing steward for us. She should be pumping up the development in our capital. 25 skill is so good. Yeah, look at this. We are now making 3.3 development per month in our capital. This is big. So our grandson and player heir just had a pop-up here to choose one of his traits, and we could actually pick up diligent on him. This one gets him a lot more stress, which sucks, but you can see it unlocks the develop capital decision, which is going to be which I can use to further increase our development in our capital. I think it gives you a 0.2 development per month in the capital, which actually multiplied by all of these benefits will be super helpful for us. Oh, let's go. We actually got Mastermind Philosopher on our son, which is the best education trait for learning. So now he has 19 learning already. He's intelligent. He has pretty decent stats all around, honestly. And we're going to swap him for our Chancellor here, because that's going to get him 3 prestige per month now, because he's the one we're going to want to try to hit 7,000 prestige with. Okay, what I'm going to do here is kind of cheeky. I just set up a marriage for our 16-year-old son based on prestige gain, and we were able to gain him 5,000 prestige. Now what I'm going to do is murder his wife, which we have a 95% chance of going ahead and doing. Okay, here's the murder chance. It should go through, and yeah, so she did die, which is quite awesome. So now look at this. We can go right back, sort by prestige gain, and set up another marriage. I think the person does have to be of age. So like this character right here, set up a marriage. He should gain another 500 prestige from that. Look at that. And now we can go ahead and just run a murder scheme on this character. Okay, here we go.
Double kill.
Looks like we killed my grandson's wife again. So I could do another marriage. You can see he's still only 18. I could do another marriage for prestige gain with this character for another 500, or I could try to find him an actual wife to have kids with. But honestly, I don't see a problem of doing this one more time at least. Gets him all the way up to 2,000 prestige already, only at age 18.
Triple kill.
This lady here, again, 500. I guess we'll do it one more time. Okay, so we killed his wife again. I'm gonna do it just one more time with this character for 500 again, because now he's at above 3,000. And then I think what I'm going to do is our religion has ritual suicide, so I'll just kill myself and then start playing as him, because once I'm playing as the ruler, you can see we obviously get a lot more prestige than him just like chilling as our counselor. So once he's gaining around 7.7 prestige per month, and we can start doing hunts and feasts and things like that to get his prestige higher, we should be able to hit 7,000 before the end of his life. Ooh, okay, and look at this. We just discovered windmills, which is big, because now we can upgrade our temple here once we get enough gold. Boom, so in 6 months, we'll have an upgraded temple.
Overkill.
We killed our son's wife again, our grandson's wife again. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it just one more time, okay? This is the last time, I promise. It's just so easy to get free prestige like this. It blows my mind. And we always have a 95% chance to kill people. Oh no, people discovered I was actually a murderer in the last one. Okay, so this one will definitely be the last one. We'll kill this person, we'll kill ourselves, and then we'll be able to play as our son, who already has a crap ton of prestige. Okay, so we successfully just killed that character, our son's wife again. And then what I'm gonna do is go down here, enact ritual suicide. Boom. We've successfully killed ourselves. So now we're playing as a 22-year-old with the wise man, mastermind philosopher, intelligent, diplomatic courter. He's got some amazing perks. We're gonna try to find a marriage here with inheritable traits. We have a genius down here, a 0-year-old genius. Honestly, this might be the play. We'd have to wait 16 years to be able to use this character, because she is just born, fresh out the womb. But I think I'm gonna do that. And I think we're set up. Yeah, you can already see we'll be making 9.5 prestige per month. We should definitely be able to hit 7,000 very easily as this guy. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. So I was just like revoking all these lines without any problems for the longest time. But since I was building up like these areas buildings, you can see they actually have sizable military strengths now. This person has 1,500, while this person has 1,900. And we only have 3,700. But a lot of that comes from their taxes. These guys just like levy tax to us. So technically, we're not honestly stronger than them on our own. I think one thing that will help is if I pick up some mangonels, as well as just increase the size of some of our other men-at-arms here. We also haven't really been building the military buildings to boost our men-at-arms strength. Like you can see, we only went for like economic buildings, very greedy of us. But honestly, we could pick up like some armored horsemen and such. They do have reduced damage in hills, but 100 minus 20 is still 80 damage, which is pretty insane. So honestly, I think I'll just pick up some armored footmen when I get the chance. And then I should be able, armored horsemen when I get the chance. And I should be able to revoke the land away from our siblings. Okay, so as you can see, I just filled out 2 regiments of armored horsemen. So now I think I should be strong enough in order to revoke the land away from my brothers. There you go. So you can see their total strength is 4,200, which is actually a lot more than us. So I'm going to raise my army here, and honestly, I think I'll stay on this tile. You can see our knights are pretty decent. We got a couple good strength here, and then that guy, we can put him in charge. So now at least we have a 19 level commander. Attacking them here is dangerous because you can see they would get the defending across a river strait bonus, which would kind of make it tough. Okay, here they moved off of this tile for some reason, so now we can at least start capturing their fort, and we do have 30 mangonels, so the progress is going to go decently quickly. Oh, and it looks like maybe they're running away actually. Okay, so we have hit 90%, which is enough because I think we have the tradition or something that makes you only need to go 10% less war score than you need. That didn't make any sense. But we won the war, so we can enforce our demands, and now everybody's in our jail. So we can simply, we can simply revoke the land from our siblings here. Very, very nice. And now if we... And now if we put our marshal on increased control, we should be back up to speed very quickly. But both these are at 70 right now, so you can already see our gold per month has skyrocketed to 23.7. Oh yeah, I forgot I can develop our capital, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. It costs 63 stress, but like we explained before, it'll get us 0.2 development per month in our capital. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize we were researching trebuchets. I should have been doing hoardings like I had talked about, but I guess 14 years until we get hoardings is actually pretty quick. I'm quite impressed with that. We need to start letting our gold just stack right now so that I can invest it in all my areas here. I'm going to be developing our capital again at the cost of 64 stress. You can see this actually brings our total development up to 3.7 per month in our capital, which is quite decent. Okay, you can see we just discovered hoardings. Oh, and had a son. Yes, and look at this. He's a genius son. Let's go. We just picked up hoardings, meaning we can now upgrade our castle. It will cost 560 gold, but we actually have enough to do it. So once we do that, we can start upgrading the rest of these beautiful economic buildings in our capital, which is going to turn into more development because, again, we have the industrious tradition. We are all the way up to 60 development now. Okay, so I just did develop capital again, and you can now see we're making 4.2 monthly growth in our capital. Okay guys, I think we have waited enough time. We can now go ahead and reform our culture again, and this time, of course, we're going to be picking up finally the garden architects. So in 5 years this will be done, and I can show you just how good this tradition is going to be for our development growth. Oh, I didn't even know this, but we have a special cultural and regional innovation available to us, and it will actually boost our development growth by another 10%. I just picked up banking, which does that, but now this will do it again, and it's only 5 years to finish. We are just speeding through the tech tree right now. Okay, so right here you can see we finally embraced the garden architect's tradition, which now if we go over to our core positions, we should be able to find court gardener right here, and take a look at this. It will increase the development growth in our realm capital by 0.1 to 0.7. So if we can find an excellent character here, so it's solely based on their stewardship skill, I think. So right now we can hire this person with 12 stewardship skill, and they'll actually be gaining us 0.3. You can see they're gaining us 0.25 development per month. I'm also gonna I'm also gonna develop our capital using this decision. It's gonna stress us out, but I honestly don't care. This character is getting pretty old at this point. And now you can see we're making +5 development per month from all these bonuses. And I will also look if we can find a better gardener right now. Look at this. We can set it up with this 43-year-old, and maybe she can be our new gardener. Yes, look at this. So she has 24 skill, which is all you need apparently. The only factor that affects this gardening ability. So this is going to raise the development from plus 0.25 to plus 0.7. So we'll point her, take a look in her capital, and look at that, plus 0.7 coming from her, which brings the total to 6.6 in the capital per month. Now we are really getting in gear here to hit 100 development. We're already at 70, but this will help so much, guys. That is absolutely crazy how fast we're going to be going up now. Oh man, so I also made this lady my steward, who is my court gardener, and look, it brought our development all the way up to 7.4 now. Holy crap, we are just going to be steaming through to 100 development now. We're already at 73, guys. Unfortunately, our character just got the cancer trait, so
I'm dying. Help me.
looks like they might not survive too much longer. Honestly, that's fine. Our son looks amazing. So we researched the tech that let us get high partition here, which we're going to pass. And that makes it so that right now our firstborn will inherit all of our lands. So we at least won't have to deal with our land splitting like it was before, and then having to revoke and do a little like war every time we have a new character. So that should save a little bit of energy on my part at least. Looks like our character is going to die in about a year. I don't really have any problems. Like I said, we have a good son to play as. Unfortunately, he's a comfort eater and obese, but we'll try to lose some weight as him. Alright, so we're dead. But let's take a look at the development. Still making 4.9 from here because we still have the court gardener. The only thing is we don't have centralization, which was giving us 0.3, so we're gonna have to pick that up as fast as possible. So I'll go down a stewardship focus just for now. I literally have nothing to spend my money on at this point. We can't go to the next innovation era because we have to wait till 12,000 AD. We have enough techs to do it, and we are like literally just like getting techs in like 5-6 years at this point because our average development is just so high in these counties. And you can see I have all my castles upgraded to 3, my cities are upgraded to 3, my temples, and all the buildings are at 6, tier 6 in there. So there's literally nothing to spend my money on other than military. Already my military strength would be really high if I was to raise all these guys, but we got a ton of armored horsemen, we have a ton of crossbowmen and trebuchets. I think we would literally run over like any army we came in contact with. There's like nothing I can use my gold for other than commissioning artifacts whenever they pop up, just so I can like squeeze out some extra bonuses from things like that. Okay guys, if you have a look here, you'll see we're at 98 development. We're going up pretty quick still. But before we hit 100 development, let me go around and show you the rest of the map. First of all, our 3 counties, we have 98 over here, 80 in the one that was sharing borders, and then this one up top, we only have 24 because it was going up pretty slow. Cordoba has 49, Rome has 41, and the Byzantines only have 50, guys. So when we hit 100 development, which will be in like a year or 2, we will have doubled everybody else's development in the map. So here we go, we're about to go to 90, 99. My character is so funny. He was like obese, then he was losing weight, now he's athletic, but he's got some pretty good stats, mainly learning. I don't even think there are any techs left for us to get. Yeah, so we've unlocked every single tech available to us, and we still would have to wait until for another 52 years to be able to go up to the next era. That's just how ahead of the game we are right now. Okay guys, here we go. Boom, and we have done it. Look at that. We have raised our development to 100 in the Canary Islands. Let's freaking go, guys. So officially it's 282 years after game start, and we're able to raise this county from I think 3 development from when we started all the way to 100. I think we could have done it a lot quicker in a different area. These megaliths that you guys were recommending me to play as, that my subs were, that you guys were commenting to play as, are good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is good, and the religion is good because you get so many bonuses. Like, let's take a look over here. We're getting stuff from, because it's a holy site, so you get Grand Temple, you get legendary megalith, the Great Megalith, megalith construction, and the holy site. So that's like an about 100% increase, which is pretty quick. But honestly, guys, if I'm going to be honest with you, I still think if you play a game down here in this county, on the southern tip of India, which has 7 slots, and all of them, except for one, are farmlands. I still think if you play here and you combine, and you have one county with a castle, and the rest of them you just build cities, I think that will still be better, because then you can build on all the coastal ones. You can have trade ports, you can have guilds in every single one, and then a lot of them with farmlands. You can also build manor houses, with which will as well increase your development. So I still think down here you could probably go from not 0 development, because it starts at like 20, but you could get to 100 development a lot faster than where we were playing. But the thing that's fun about this area here is we were barely in any wars the entire game. So if you're trying to learn how to play tall, this is a great starting location for you. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this tall video. I always have a great time stacking all my development bonuses and my tax bonuses, and just watching my gold, prestige, faith, and troops increase in size. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.